Try again. Work on this for a little bit. It's the chat. Jesus fucking Christ. What a disaster.
Every time. Also, like,
Okay, hey Talbot. Okay, hey Talbot. I can't accurately. No, I can't do it that way. Okay, here it is now. Okay. Ah. The train. What is? The. On an already confusing day, confusing things are happening. But I'm gonna power through this. Hope you're doing well. My chat readout is not where it's supposed to be in the thing, so I had to pull it up on Twitch. All of the settings are so out of whack right now. What's happening here? I hate the way these things pop up where they're not supposed to. Anyway. Is that the right color? No way. It feels more reasonable. Good evening, fine people. How goes it? Good evening, fellow kids. Rough start to the stream. Everything's fine, though. Every time I stream from this setup, my settings and configurations are not where I expect them to be. It's not a stream if something doesn't break. That sounds about right. Yeah, there's a little bit of fighting the tools sentiment at the moment, but we're getting past it. It's temporary. It's not a life sentence. Yeah, stay cool through the horrors. Yeah. And any progress is progress worth making, I think, I suppose. Got to get with you doing an art piece in the future, work something out. Yes, yes. I'm cheap these days. I'm very cheap. No, but I'd totally be done. Let me get this piece done, and then we can chat. I am doing like a D&D party portrait for a friend of mine, but I got to be honest, I'm a little bit more focused on doing this piece since it's funny. I'll get bored of doing the normal stuff, so I'll try something else, and then the thing that I'll try ends up doing amazingly, and then I'm like, well, shit, I should just do that instead. So I keep getting distracted by different little things that turn out to do well, and what are you gonna do? So weirdly, the other day I did a little figure drawing demo on the stream, and I posted it on YouTube, and it must have caught like a wave in the algorithm, because like it got like 400 views, whereas most of my videos get like three views on YouTube. This got like 400 or 600 or something like that. It was ridiculous. And like a bunch of likes and stuff. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And then as soon as it started, it stopped. And I'm like, wait, what happened? But I'm just like, whatever. It's nothing to obsess about too much, but it is a little bit like that's distracting, where I didn't think that would happen. So now I'm wondering, like, should I do more of that stuff? Probably. But also, you know, I don't want to get too distracted from doing these kinds of things. Let me know if the I got this. You know, let me know if the music is too loud or too soft. Painting makeup is a little weird. It's not, because it's like paint. It's like you're painting paint, right? It's kind of funny. I think it's funny. Excuse me. Yeah, so yesterday when the algorithm was exploding, relatively, like exploding my YouTube site, because of course it's like literally nothing's happening. I got like 20 likes on a video, so it's like, but for me, I'm like, oh, it's literally 10 times more than I'm used to getting. So I was like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm famous. And like literally nothing happened. But like I was getting all excited about that, and then I felt myself getting sick. I got like a bug, and I was like, oh my god! It's like right now I should be like figuring out how to optimize this, right? Isn't that what you would like someone would say to do? Like quick, do more figure drawing streams. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. I had to lay down and just process the fatigue that was setting in. So yeah, caught unawares by the interest of the internet, but whatever. Maybe something caught about the thumbnail and the video topic caught a wave of people. I think what might have happened is maybe, you know how people do react streams and like when they're really lazy, they'll just surf like YouTube. I think maybe something like that happened. Because it was there for a little bit and then it went away. And it so it wasn't anything sustaining where it like felt like definitely something about it got, people were clicking on it, but then I don't know. And it's like, I just think it was a stupid glitch, honestly. Otherwise I'll tear my brain apart trying to figure out how to like replicate it. It's like not even worth it. It's like whatever. I think the frustrating thing for me was that it was like, oh, those even weren't even that like those were not even like particularly good examples of figure drawing for me. I'd be like, oh no, don't watch that one. Here, I could do much better, but it's like too late. Yay! Misfit Queen is here. We're doing some Midna. I remember Misfit is the pretty girl you like to talk to. I do remember that. We're all charmed to have you here. So one thing I plan to do, though, just in a little bit of a reactionary sort of take, is that when I do morning streams, because that's usually what I try to keep consistent with. I might have done one this morning, except I was so groggy off of cough medicine, I couldn't even get up. But when I do morning streams, I will try to do figure drawing warm-ups so that at least like a stream could start with some figure drawing, and that's good for me to do anyway. So that seems smart. Like do like a solid maybe like 20 minutes of figure drawing. Because most people, I think, if they came for figure drawing, they might see that and enjoy 20 minutes of it. And then if they clicked off, no big deal. And then if they stuck around and stuck around for whatever came next, that wouldn't be a bad idea. This is my plan. This is my plan to explode. There will be no exploding, but... Saw you, I don't know, this morning or the other morning, but I needed more sleep. Yeah, the figure drawing is great. People will find it entertaining, especially at your speed, I assume. My figure drawing is pretty good. I'll sit next to the big boys in the figure drawing class. I fear no man or woman in the figure drawing class, but I've said this as well. All are humbled. All are humbled before the figure drawing class. I dare say, though, I have expertise in it. I have expertise in storyboarding, I have expertise in drawing in general, and then I have expertise in figure drawing. I am expert in that. And that is to say, it's like, hey, if that's what the people want, I don't mind diverting a small portion of the beginning of the streams to doing that, just for a little bit. See what happens. If it makes zero difference whatsoever, then whatever. It's still great practice. It's practice I should be doing anyway. I just mostly don't. So I think I messed something up here. I think this is supposed to be like a hair tie. Oh shit. Like this thing here? I think this is supposed to be like metal. Like a metal hair tie. I guess I can look that up later. It just sort of binds her hair. But it's not supposed to be hair colored, right? Sort of my guess. Midna, true form. Yeah, okay. It's kind of tricky to see because it's small, but down here, this is like a hairband that... And I always just interpret these little weird squiggles in her jewelry and stuff as like worms. Something about the her aesthetic is a little bit wormy to me. No disrespect intended, but but if I just look at some of the designs, I was like, that looks like an earthworm. And to me, it's like, well, earthworms come out at night, right? Oh, that's on the wrong layer. These are all on the wrong layer. Oops. I can fix that. Okay, better now. Okay, since I know that that's wrong, I'm going to fix it. There's no sense in going forever without fixing something that needs fixing. Like if it was a character that didn't matter, that's one thing, but people love Minda. Gotta give them what they want. There's like insane rain going on right now in LA. Another one of those atmospheric rivers. Threatening to flood my backyard, but luckily I had a pump ready to be deployed, and that seems to have done a good job of handling it. But it's going to be another good reason to get up early tomorrow and do the stream, because I have to get up anyway and check the backyard, make sure the pump didn't fail. Not that I know what I would do. I mean, like, here's the thing is, it's like, yeah, I got a pump, but what if the power goes out? What's going to power the pump? You know? I don't know what I would do necessarily, but if I knew, at least I could do. I could at least worry about it. This stream won't go too long. The kiddos are in a bath right now. They spent the afternoon splashing around in giant puddles at my parents' house. And this is after I warned them to not get water inside of their rain boots. Of course they did, so their feet are soaked. Brush I'm using is a sort of a specialty airbrush. It's called the Tapered Detail airbrush. And it's capable, if I'm careful, of making some fine lines if I go lightly, but then if I push hard, the scatter on it gets much bigger. So pretty versatile. Lots of different. I tend to. I consider it to be pretty pretty versatile, but I don't try to push it too far. Everybody remember to save your work. Okay. Okay, that's a pretty good place to be with it. But do one more one more never-ending one more pass with the blue light. Because every pass we do, it feels like we can add more. Like we held ourselves back. If we go back here, you know, this is where we started. And then when you add light to it, it gets so much brighter. And then it's everywhere. But then you're like, I can do more. So you add more, you know, it gets even brighter. You're like, there's still just like a little smidge more of that blueness we can add. Because once we start adding in like the color of the effect of the moon, backlighting things, and the other source of light will be the, I'm pretty sure I want to do this, like there can be a lighting effect from torches. Essentially, like torches either coming from below, like the village is underneath him, right? There's some sort of glow coming from that. It doesn't have to be extreme, but it'll help set off the scene. Okay, we don't know what song this is, so we're going to change it up. Definitely like this one. We're going to use a different tool, though. Only a little bit brighter now. So I do want to reserve some brightness for the... it's a big size. Let's change that to 100. Okay, let's see what we think. I need a deft touch with this. Hands can be shiny. This brush, unlike the airbrush, has texture. Sort of an artificial texture, but it is a... if we look at it here, there are striations in the application that give it texture if I apply it well. Small details like this well, I'm in danger of overdoing it for sure, but they'll be impossible to add later if I don't do it now. How bright can you make the highlight from the light coming from a cloud. Reflecting moonlight from the other direction. Not very bright, but... And everything else is so dark. The eyes are attuned to the shadow. Maybe we can see it. What a hunk. Not too much lip gloss. Catching some of these highlights. And then, I think here we can justify sort of peeling out some strands of hair. For some extra attention. Okay, and we can do the highlight in his eyes. This is kind of like a cheated highlight. Admittedly, this is not, if Link were naturally here in front of us doing what he's doing, we might not see the light exactly this way in real life, but this is the cinematic version, right? So It's not about making it real. It's about the vibe. A little bit of light catching on the opposite side of the eye. Does that look cool? I think it's cool. He's got that 1,000-yard stare. Which is the intent. This might be necessary. Have I gone too far? Possibly. Okay. Let's add some detail to the rest of his outfit. All the tiny places where light could catch. Even though he's not wearing like silken robes or things that are especially refined or whatever. I don't know. I like adding, at least at this point in my art journey, I'm entranced somewhat with adding a luster to the look of things. Everything's kind of shiny, right? I just feel like our brains just sort of filter that out, turn it off. But like if you go outside, scoop up sand in your hand, and look at it closely enough, it's like alive with light. Everything is. A disgusting bug. Fly zooming around a dumpster. Get up close. The wings are iridescent. Everything's beautiful. I think it's just about maybe not everything is beautiful. Mayhaps, not everything is beautiful. Well, drop some acid and let me know what you think. Be like, oh wow, Max. It's definitely if you view it a certain way, I think everything can be beautiful. But I guess part of what I'm also trying to do is put in a little extra, just a little incentive for people to be like, when they see the piece, they'll be like, wow, that's great. They'll be like, wow, there's a lot of detail. And then they zoom in even more. They're like, there's fucking detail and amazing rendering on every like little stupid thing. Like, how did he do this or whatever? Right now, Link having that luster, it looks like it's almost too much, right? We look here. Oh shit. We can compare like before and after. It's like, did we go too far? And the reason it looks like it might have gone too far is because it's exposed. It's like right now it's just all there, but when we then add the moonlight on top of it and stuff like that, we're not going to pay attention to that. It'll be about the more dominant light, so before and after. But yeah, like Link here is going to be backlit also, so he'll have some awesome rim light. And all this will just appear to be in shadow. We won't even remember that we ever added light here, because it's all just going to be so dominated by the light there, right? But there's also going to be theoretically some light underneath him coming from down here. That's my theory, at least, that some of that could be the case. I don't know. It might be too much. There's a method to the madness. But also, like the luster I'm adding on him, I'm going to add it to everything, and then it'll all just be balanced again. So it won't even appear that anything is ever out of place. It makes sense, yeah. I definitely need to do more of those quick quick pieces, the like the one I did of Riju or Pura. Those take no time at all, and they get like just as many likes. But I do learn a lot from doing these pieces, I think. Okay, let's do a little bit on the castle. Okay, good. We'll go another 20 minutes. Let's see how far we can get in 20 minutes. The same brush. I mean, have you ever picked up a rock and you're like, ah, it's a stupid rock? And then, like, you sort of just look at it for more than a split second and you're like, shit, it's like all sorts of sparkles out going on in here. Look at all these colors. What you think is like a gray rock ends up being just full of variations of color. Rocks are complex. Yeah. I mean, they are. That doesn't mean I'm like, I'm not trying to like paint all the complexity I would see in the rock. I want the complex to look simple, or, you know, at least have a hierarchy to it, right? It needs to be organized. Right? This is a stone that he's touching, so we can justify putting some effort into it. These other ones, not so much. You know, they need a little love, not a lot. It's like if you do just enough to get the brain started, it'll sort of continue that work into everything else. You won't even have to do it. All the variation we need. It'll be interesting when it comes to the like the wolf. I'll try and do that like just as a silhouette if I can. Like I'm not. Plus, it's so small. It's like 20 pixels by 20 pixels, you know? But the context will do all the work for me. I won't need to... won't need to add any detail. It's powered by people's imagination. maybe a little bit down here. Some of this does look a little bit overdone. Oops. So it's a balance, you know? You know, eventually we'll get later on, we'll be rim lighting it with something like this, you know. That's probably way too much, but you know. You know, the way the sketch looked, you know. Get all the drama in it. Yeah, he's being lit up by a search helicopter. Well, it looks weird here, but if I make this moon as bright as this, you know, then it doesn't look weird at all. It looks like that's right. Yeah, well, right, because I haven't lit the moon. I mean, it's weird to like light the moon, but I will. You know, but even the moon will have some variance. I won't let it be like, you know, it'll have something that looks like variance in texture, like that. But when that's lit up, you know, everything will have... I'm getting defensive. What do you mean it's not brilliant? But actually, to be honest, a little of this is for me as well, because I'm like, what am I going to do here? I didn't fully design out the sketch with like all that necessarily in mind. You know, let's do a little exploratory, sketchy stuff. What happens here? This is all in a different layer. This won't mess anything up. You know, but you can see how a little bit of what I was saying, where it's like all the brightness we were adding in the shadow is just going to go back to the shadow. It'll be there and it'll make a difference, trust me, but it won't. You know, there's a lot that needs to be left accounted for, and then the atmosphere behind everything is going to sort of glow out the other edges as well. Back to the shadows. Because there's going to be a little bit of spill. Like there's going to be atmosphere behind the castle that's going to catch light and sort of bounce it around a little bit too. You know, so it'll sort of be lit out all around. Like just bouncing all over, doing all sorts of shit. you know, but I won't let it get too crazy. So just tuck it back where we need it. It's important to remember what happened in the original sketch that was so exciting for people. It's like, what was that, you know? Look how bright the background is in here. Right? You still can see the moon. It's still a night scene. Yeah, it was super bright. Like I keep coming back to that, being like, damn, this is like... It's like a daytime scene, almost. And look, and like, you can see also, like, a really underlit Link here. For whatever reason, I thought I'd get away with it. Maybe some of that is like, you know what? Maybe that's bounced light from the, you know how light from here could hit here and then bounce up? I could light it a million different ways, yeah. But since people really respond, it's like, were people responding well to the design or to the idea of what was happening in the design? Right? Or are there just some things in a sketch that I can't replicate or make better by rendering them, right? Yeah, we'll see. That's why it's a challenge for me. It's like, okay, it's like, will I improve this by trying to improve it, or will I make it worse, right? Like, it doesn't really need to be finished, does it? But I'm like, but what if I had to? Okay, a few more minutes. Let's see here. Squirrel Reaper, what up, man? We were messing around with some faux lighting, just sort of seeing what we could do in the future. So this is the original sketch right here. And people love it, so I want to see if it can be even more. Can I capitalize on that somehow? And I don't necessarily have a perfect roadmap in my head on how to do that, but I didn't really have one for anything else that I did, and a lot of those turned out really good, so this is basically the process, just adding little bits of light until I run out of light, and then you're done. Man, you know, it's the same thing with those leaves, you know? It's like, you think, well, a leaf is just like dirty and brown, right? But then you pick one up, you can see one side is super shiny, the other side has all this texture. There's all sorts of stuff. Looks like a chilly night, yeah. Ooh, I like that. But his zeal for Hyrule keeps him warm. Oh, Nimina. It's been a while. How are you? Cool people are in the chat. Maybe I should stream a little longer. I don't have anything I have to rush off to do. It's just my daughter has to you know how it is with being in elementary school as she is. Like, at school they are cool with like the Valentine's Day holidays and passing out candy. For whatever reason, it's totally fine at this age, and then later on, like, maybe it isn't, but meanwhile I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do for Valentine's Day? yesterday was the 15th anniversary of me and my wife getting engaged. So it wasn't even our wedding anniversary, it was our engagement anniversary. 15, that's like a long time. I'm pretty good about, like, it's not that I forgot about it, but it was like our day-to-day lives are so busy that we're like, oh shit. All right. Hey, happy anniversary. Yeah, it's like friendship candy holiday. I don't know about everybody else, but for us it was more or less like you get enough Valentines to share with everybody and everybody does the same, and it's just like pass out candy day. Of course, my daughter is extremely popular with boys at her school, so she'll probably get lots of special Valentines. It's kind of chasing the dragon's tail in a way. A sketch has this raw emotion, and you try to bring that out in the final render. At least it can feel that way. Yeah, and I'm trying to, because this is a lot of this is about, like, what can I learn from my black and white work that I can take to my color, you know? People responded well to this. I think it's got a strong composition. Can that composition go into color without losing something along the way? Like, is the adding of color something that will, at least in the process that I use, is that going to strip away some of the sort of whimsy and because I think you can get away with more in a sketch than you can with like a color render. That it's like once the rubber meets the road, does XYZ actually work out? Trying to make it real. Is this impossible, or is it like a it's like, is it like trying to make an adaptation that's impossible to make, you know? The values are intense, yeah. I don't think I can get the sky this bright, but knowing that here the sky was this bright and then it needs to be much brighter than I have it here, for instance. Or like the other thing is, it's like, you know, this is a good composition. Is this the best composition? I'm not entirely sure that's correct either. If I get stuck, I feel like I can use this to find my way home. But let's stay the course for now and just see where this takes us. Okay, so these leaves have some highlights and rendering on them. What else could happen? Let's see here. Maybe it'll light up a bit more when you add some stars. You could play with however you want it up, so you just play with it. Yeah. I think as long as I keep keep my values organized. Like here, I think the values are organized here. You know? They're decently organized. It's interesting. Look how bright these leaves are in this image. And none of that is translated here. So what am I going to do? You know? But if I have to cheat it at the end, I'll cheat it. You know, the leaves can be whatever. They can be translucent. They can catch light. They can have ambient occlusion. They can be glowing. Why not have glowing leaves? I guess everything feels like it's glowing here. It's pretty clear to me that this doesn't really have... I think the bounced light on Link needs to more or less come from the reflection. It's like, so if this balcony was like a table, right? If you thought of it like a table and the light was bouncing on it, it would bounce back up and it could hit the underside of Link's chin. Right? I think that's what we'll have to do, because I don't think... Or maybe like a little... Let me try some of the torchlight anyway. I like the idea of it. I can de-emphasize it where I don't want it to be. It'll help sort of give a sense... It'll... Do it anyway. Radioactive. Well, you could make it a bright nighttime scene and darken it on the outsides in a naturally bright outside scene. Like how the full moon will make clouds really bright. Of course, yeah. Dude, light is everywhere. Like if you were a cat and you turned off all the lights, you would see just light everywhere. Because it is everywhere. It's just whether or not like your eyes are sensitive to it. It's like those fish at the bottom of the ocean. If you're sensitive to it, you know, but here our eyes will... I'll make your eyes sensitive to it. It'll be like one of those anglerfish. I'll send you to live at the bottom of the deeps. I'm going to add some light here on the back castle, but it's really more about just trying to get a sense of texture. The lights in this room keep dimming up and down. There's a storm going on in LA. Be present for something. Just in case there's a huge downpour or something happening. Okay, it's fine. Well, I worked on a bank commercial today. That was exciting. Not so. Having some available time to do this instead of just wallowing is awesome. funny because it's like, I feel like I spend, man, it just took forever to finish any of these things, but I've already done like a bunch of these. And I did those by just doing a little bit every day. Or when I could. It wasn't even every day, just when I could. And it feels like only small changes or like small differences happen each stream. But they really do add up. It may be time to get going though in a second. I can hear my kids playing around.